Welcome to the Grow My Cleaning Company podcast with your host, Mike Campion. If you are passionate about the cleaning industry, you are in the right place. Love what you hear? Spread the word and tell the cleaning world this is the place to be. Want more? Check out www.growmycleaningcompany.com for free online video trainings, free ebook downloads, free blog posts, and of course, all the podcast episodes. Everything you need to grow your cleaning company is at www.growmycleaningcompany.com. And now, on with the show.
Welcome to the Grow My Cleaning Company podcast, where I coach owners of cleaning companies every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on anything and everything related to building and growing cleaning companies. If you're committed to growing your cleaning company, check us out at www.growmycleaningcompany.com to get all the resources you need to create the cleaning company you've always wanted. If you want to be a guest on the show, you can email our producer, Natalie, at nat@growmycleaningcompany.com, or give us a call at 480-648-5149 to apply to be on the show. I'm excited to talk to you and get to know you and your company. Today, we are talking with Dwayne Martin from Albert's Cleaning. Albert's Cleaning serves the Honolulu area with commercial and construction cleanup services. If you want to reach out to Dwayne and his team, you can get a hold of them at www.albertscleaning.com. Dwayne, say hello to Cleaning Nation.
Hello, good morning.
Good to speak with you, my friend. And I think you've got the dubious honor of being the first island dweller to be on the show. So congratulations and welcome. How'd you end up in Honolulu, man?
Long story short, nasty divorce in 2010 ultimately led me to relocating to stay close to my kids.
Man, I got to tell you, I went through a nasty divorce, which I do not recommend, but I did not end up in Honolulu. So
I don't either.
Yeah, I should have talked to you and figured out how to do it, because I'm still here. I'm still stuck in Phoenix, which I love, but it's no Honolulu, that's for sure.
That is true.
So how long have you been in the business? How long have you had your current business? Give us a little background about you and how you got involved, my friend.
Currently been doing contract cleaning since 1997. Cut my teeth in the industry doing window cleaning initially, and then branching out into construction cleanup, and then ultimately trying to become as all-inclusive to the commercial district by offering full-service commercial janitorial and growing from there.
Cool. So do you do window cleaning and commercial still, or have you kind of phased out the window and just do commercial?
No, well, the window cleaning is part of the commercial aspect of it, so it's always been a big part of it.
Okay, so you do obviously janitorial services and then commercial window cleaning as well.
Correct.
Cool. All right. Well, cool. And before we jump into the coaching piece, any other fun and exciting stuff you want to share about you, your company? Any other fun facts about Dwayne we need to know?
Maybe not some fun facts about me so much as fun facts about my career. I've had a good amount of success in the cleaning industry. I was a millionaire nearly 2 times over by the time I was 32 doing this work. Have had a great deal of success in doing it. Simply contract cleaning and janitorial, combining the construction cleanup and the janitorial for a good solid ground base for doing so. It's a great business if you can avoid the landmines.
and there are a few landmines hanging around.
There definitely are.
All right, man. Well, that's awesome.
I've had the pleasure. I said a few of which I've unfortunately had the pleasure of stepping into.
And that's exactly why we build this community and do this show, is so we can ideally, smart people learn from their mistakes, but real smart people learn from other people's mistakes. Yes. So hopefully we can get a little of that action in on this. What's that?
Funny that you say that. My father used to say the same thing.
Okay, cool. So how long have you been running your company in Honolulu?
Relaunched last year in September officially, landed our first contract in October, began working in November, and things are picking up momentum.
All right, beautiful, man. Well, you are exactly the kind of guy I'd love talking to. What can I coach you on today? How can I serve you today, my friend?
Well, my primary business model was based on having the long-term recurring revenues of janitorial contracts in the commercial industry, to support what I would call the cash cow of construction cleanup, which can be very profitable if you know what you're doing and know how to do that. However, jumping over and making that jump ship and losing the foundation from under me of the janitorial foundation has led me to obviously cash flow problems or challenges per se in supporting that. So I also, on the flip side of the coin, I wouldn't call it quite proprietary information, but put together essentially something that you could call a chemical-free cleaning system that is greatly beneficial, or I should say mostly beneficial, to the children and churches and schools, which used to be my mainstay of janitorial accounts on the mainland or in California when I was operating there. That essentially is well beyond green cleaning standards. Nothing toxic about it. You could take their disinfectant and spray it in your face, and I would let my 1-year-old play with it and not worry about any exposures, short of probably drinking it. So it makes green cleaning look like old technology with an efficacy rate and disinfection rate of that that exceeds most hospitals in America today.
Cool. So how can I help you today?
I would like some help in identifying or what your recommendations would be in specifically targeting people that technology would be most beneficial to.
Okay, cool.
I mean, obviously from the churches, schools, and children development centers that are listed, how to market, and I would say to really target in and hone in on that niche so that the clients are ideally coming to you versus you always having to spend your time and energy chasing them.
Okay, perfect. So have you already identified, first of all, have you already identified your niche or niches that you're chasing?
Say that one more time.
Have you already identified the niches that you're trying to go after?
I have. I have. Primarily the child development centers, preschools, daycare centers, and schools.
Okay, perfect. So pretty much everywhere where kids are that have large facilities for cleaning. Is that a fair synopsis?
It is.
Okay, perfect. Well, first of all, congrats on kind of carving out. It sounds like you've got two things going for you, which I coach a lot of people on. So we can kind of start on step 3 as opposed to having to cover a lot of groundwork. So I just want to congratulate you first on having. It sounds like you've got a unique selling proposition in terms of, and I'm constantly beating the drum of being green or going green is not a unique selling proposition because everybody's saying it. So it's not unique anymore. But if you're taking it to a next level and it's something that your customers are interested in, especially if you're kind of combining niching out instead of saying, hey, I'm selling to the world. If you have a building or you're a business owner, I'm interested. You're kind of picking out a niche that's strong when you've got a USP or a unique selling proposition that's unique and it's important to that niche. That's a heck of a good combination. So right off the bat, you've got a nice foundation to start from.
Good to hear.
What's that?
I said, good to hear.
Okay, cool.
That's what I felt and believe.
Cool. Well, after that encouragement, let's jump in and start talking about how you can leverage that unique selling proposition and that niche to build a company a lot faster. So first of all, do you have a first step I always do is start building a list. Worst list is a cold list, which you can purchase depending on your niche. And if you've got something like daycare centers, and I'm assuming you've got a trade with you, it's pretty easy. I would imagine your training area is probably your island. Do you do anything on the other islands or just Honolulu?
Nope, just Honolulu.
Okay. And do you do all of Honolulu or there's parts that you won't go or do you do the whole thing?
No, pretty much the entire island of Oahu is open for the janitorial realm and for construction cleanup. So those are both have always been mainstays.
Cool. So the first thing I would do is the quickest, easiest, probably least effective thing, but it's easy to do quick, is just get a list of the people, both name of company, name of contact that would be making that decision, phone number, ideally email address, and physical address. And that's the first way to start marketing to those people. And that will open up all sorts of stuff in terms of, you can do cold emails. You don't want to spam them, but you might reach out 3 or 4 times, 3 or 4 people a day or 10 people a day. You can do direct mail. You can do telemarketing. All that good stuff. That's kind of the first easy basic stuff. A little more advanced, which is going to kind of hit what you were talking about in terms of getting them to come to you, is I would start trying to do some attraction marketing where you're finding out what those people want and then creating something of value that they come to other than the cleaning. And that begins the conversation, allows you to start educating them on what you do and why your unique selling proposition is going to bring value to their lives. So what I'd probably do is start with just calling them on the phone once I had that list, and just saying, hey, we are doing, I've got this new product. I really would love to get some information from you. Would it be okay if I bought you lunch or had 10 minutes of your time just to find out what's important to you, what's painful to you, what's important, what you're passionate about? And if I could book 5 or 10 face-to-face meetings where I wasn't trying to sell a blessed thing, I was literally just letting them talk and trying to understand. Because the worst a lot of people do, and again, I've not done the research, I have no idea whether, the kind of green 2.0, which I think is a great kind of catchphrase you've got, whether that's something that's going to be attractive to your client. So the first thing I would do is not only ask them, so I wouldn't say, is green, let me tell you all this great stuff I'm doing, are you interested? I would go to them and not have any agenda, and just go, what's important to you? What's your biggest pain? What keeps you up at night? What makes you crazy? What are you passionate about? What are your hopes and your dreams? And as that conversation organically goes, see if the green 2.0 comes up, or if the children being safe and their health and all that comes up, and then instead of trying to give them your thoughts and pitches and slogans, so to speak, just use their word tracks and kind of use those as your word. So if you hear them saying, we don't want sick kids, instead of using the words that you want, listen to the words that they want, and those can kind of be your best headlines. Any thoughts, questions, comments, rude remarks so far before we go on?
No, that actually sounds good.
Yeah, so I'd start there. I think if you were able to secure 5 to 10 face-to-face meetings, you would have you spent 20 minutes just really listening, record the meetings on a tape record, or your phone or whatever, but, get an actual recording of it if they'll allow you. So, because again, I really like using the actual words that they use, because especially if they get passionate and fired up, they'll say things that are just really perfectly worded. Those make great headlines. So if you did that, I think that's probably going to get you 1 or 2 bids without even asking. If you just kind of ask those people what's important to them, you have that conversation 5 or 10 times, 1 or 2 of them are going to invite you back and say, hey, we'd love to have you. Could you come bid? After that, I would take that, start honing.
And that's ultimately been probably one of my biggest challenges here in Honolulu, is that I came from California, which is quite conscientious in terms of green cleaning and lead points and catchphrases in the industry that catch their attention when you know what you're talking about, and can assist them in either federal credits from a lead standpoint, or in at least just embracing their overall desire to be green. Here in Honolulu, we seem to be about 10 or 15 years antiquated compared to California. And it's not important to them. And you think being surrounded by this amazing environment in the ocean and whatnot, that people would become more conscientious. And I was kind of stunned to learn early on after landing here that it really isn't. It's a very antiquated way of thinking and doing business, and trying to reach or educate the people as to the importance of not having the huge amount of potential toxins that you're introducing even to what you would call a clean environment by utilizing traditional cleaners with efficacy rates that are just subpar to what's available out there with just a little bit of technology.
Yeah, okay, so that's a great piece of information. The first thing you want to do is kind of take a step back and look at, is your goal, if you're kind of on a crusade to be clean and to help the environment, and if that's your main goal, then...
Oh, sorry.
So yeah, I would really focus on what your main goal. We'll cut that part out. I would focus on what your main goal is, and if it is to kind of be a crusader and get your message across and change hearts and minds, then you can continue with where you're at. If your goal is to build a profitable company, The most frustrating, bang your head against the wall way to do that is to try and convince people that aren't interested in green why they need to be interested in green and how important it is. That can take a lot of time and a lot of budget, and not that it can't be effective. It's just a long, brain damage filled path to get to what could be a really easy thing. So, have you kind of decided if you're looking to grow, or if you're looking, which is more important for you at this point in your life?
The growth is more important. I'd like to be able to do both, ideally.
So
and
the
I
cool
know
thing
that's
is
not always
you can. So the cool thing is you can continue giving them that service. I just wouldn't, if that's not what they're interested in, I wouldn't jam it down their throat. So when you're trying to attract them, you got to use bait that the fish like, right? If what's really good for fish is this kind of bait, and what's really bad for them is this other kind of bait, but they like the second kind of bait, you got to fish with the bait that they like.
Right.
Yeah, I would really focus on, again, you can still provide that service and make it, I don't want to say a side note, you can still mention it when asked, but again, if you're trying to, I would spend my time finding out what they want and then regurgitating that back to them. If it's more about, we want to get more kids in here per whatever, then that's what I would talk about. If it's more, we want to keep parents from being angry, or whatever their key metrics are that, again, keeps them up at night or they're passionate about, that's what I would hit on. And I would find some sort of educational, transformational product that can offer them, 7 things you must know. And the good thing for you is you can make it very specific to your industry. 7 things you must know before you even think about, having 20 or more kids 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. If that's going to really point out exactly who you're trying to target, and it's going to eliminate some other people. But the people that are gathering, 50 kids 5 days a week are going to go, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I want. So I would kind of find their biggest pain and then create an information product about that pain that cleaning has something to do with. And I would start giving that information product away for free on your website and using that as a way to build a warm list. So the cold list you can do to find out what they're passionate about, what they want. And then you use that to build a warm list, which is people that have come to you, raised their hand, said, yes, I'm in that industry. Yes, that's important to me. Yes, contact me and give me information. You can start that conversation of education. So when they're ready to bid, that you're first in line.
Makes sense.
Cool. All right. I feel like we've gone a little bit long. Any other questions, comments, thoughts that you want to hit me with before we move to the lightning round?
No, not really. Nothing off the top of my head.
All right, cool, Dwayne. Well, let's hit the lightning round. We'll give you an opportunity to give back to Cleaning Nation. 3 quick questions. I have full confidence you're going to give 3 amazing answers. Question number 1, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Best piece of advice I'd ever received, I would have to say, doesn't have a whole lot to do with the cleaning business. But I would say that would be ask your elders what they wish they knew at the age you're currently at.
That's a great, I don't think I've heard that before, and I love that.
By asking that question, I've learned a lot of little tidbits about life, people, business, that truly have contributed to the overall quality of life I've experienced. And since my early 20s, every opportunity that I've had the opportunity to ask one of my elders, particularly those 60 and older, I've had some very interesting and helpful answers that have shed some light and helped me avoid some of the landmines in life as well in business.
Yeah, I think that's excellent. Thank you so much for sharing. I think that's something that we can all benefit from, put into practice right away. All right, flip side of that, what's the biggest mistake you've made in the cleaning business? Maybe we can save ourselves some gray hair.
Putting a little too much faith and allowing a little bit too much cord for area managers.
Okay.
In
Perfect.
Account management. I always tried to play the background boss. Most of my clients, short of the 6-figure annual clients, didn't even know who I was. But the smaller accounts and the smaller bread and butters turned out to be the biggest mainstays and the most consistent in terms of needing service and paying on time and the things that are critical to our operations. So I would say don't try to hide too far in the background. Though you don't have to be a part of the day-to-day operations, you do have to at least be a part of the monthly operations to maintain that relationship and ultimately make it clear where the buck stops.
Beautiful.
My mistake in doing so cost me, upwards of $250,000 a year more of revenue by doing so.
Man, thank you. I mean,
All right.
yes, I'm sorry you had to go through all that to learn that, but thank you for sharing and giving us the opportunity to, again, kind of save ourselves some of those steps. All right, last question. What's one idea Cleaning Nation can put into practice right away that will make their business or lives better?
Walking the talk. A lot of people are very sales oriented and will talk, which has a very short lived sales process when you under promise and over deliver. That's always been somewhat of my motto in terms of dealing with clients. You create customers for life that are willing to not only stick with you, but often pay a premium for the continuity of what you talk versus what you create as an end product.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I think that's definitely something. That's not just a cleaning business kind of tidbit. That's something that you can use not only in business, but in personal life. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing, Dwayne. Thank you for your passion and your desire to grow. I appreciate you. I know Cleaning Nation appreciates you. If you want to check out Dwayne's show notes page and discover everything you need to grow your cleaning company, go to www.growmycleaningcompany.com. Leave your questions, your comments, your rude remarks, and I will see you there.
Congratulations! You are now 16% smarter. Still can't get enough cleaning goodness? Go to www.growmycleaningcompany.com for more of the good stuff. Ever want to be rich and famous? Owners of cleaning companies as well as industry experts can apply to be featured on the show by emailing our producer Natalie at support@growmycleaningcompany.com. Until then, don't miss out on all the latest cleaning industry lovin' at www.growmycleaningcompany.com. Check it out now.